Hey everybody, Matthew Fulton with Parkway Business Solutions and QB Community Live, the Facebook group. During this video, we're going to go over one of the more common questions that we receive all the time, which is how do you deal with when you have a customer payment? Customer basically made a payment to you, but then that payment got returned, an NSF, basically was returned back to you. So how do you record it? How do you record that bank fee as well? And then also go back and make sure you still have the dating on the initial invoice. So let's go and dive into QuickBooks Online. So basically what I've done is, like most examples, had to go in and kind of populate some data inside of this system. Uploaded some quick transactions, and what we'll do is we're going to start off, let's go over to our sales area specifically, right? We'll go to our customers here, and I'm using my vendor sync here as an example. So in this scenario, our customer was invoiced on 5/1 for services, $500. Now on 5/2, they made a payment of $500 via check that went straight into the checking account. That's what we're seeing. If I go back to the banking here, we'll see through the bank feeds, we've got 5/2, that payment was received, and it's trying to match it since it wasn't part of the undeposited funds. So just to kind of follow continuity, I'm going to say match. We know that's now in, we're good to go. But now we have the next challenge that a couple days later, all of a sudden, $500 came out of our account, and this can happen one of two ways. It could have happened as $535, being that there's a $35 bank fee, or it could be, as you're seeing here, $500 plus the extra $35. Now, I'm going to see if I can shrink myself down here a little bit since I seem to be in the way. There we go. And so you can see here, $500 for the actual check amount, $535. So how do you capture this part of it? There's, an easy ways you can kind of just try to grab the transaction, and you could just populate it in by adding extra lines on, doing a split, putting it to bank feed, so forth. But what it doesn't do is that's not necessarily helping you track the fact by the customer that they owe you money, the $500 plus the $35, and if you even want to charge them extra for a fee of some sort. So we'll go back to our customer, and the way we're going to do this, you need to have a couple items inside of QuickBooks Online to do this right. So we'll go gear icon to the top, we'll go to product and services, and we're going to create two service items that are non-taxable. The first one's going to be a bounced check. So I already created this to make this a little bit faster. You don't have to watch me typing. Basically, it's a bounced check. Put a little memo into it. You're not going to put a price in because that's going to change all the time. And then the income account that you go to in the bounce check is you can go straight back to your checking account. Now again, this is a non-taxable item, of course. The second piece that you need is a bounced check fee. This is going to be bounced check, put in the description. Price here, if it's always $35, whatever your bank is, you could put the amount, or you can just add it as you're creating the next step of the invoice. And then you're going to put this into an expense account actually of bank fees. So we've basically gone now, we got the bounce check, it hit the bank, we recognize, we're like, what's going on here? So we would go back to our customer when we see and we recognize who it was from, and we're going to create another invoice. So on 5/5, we finally realized, hey, you bounced the check on me, dude. You're going to come in and create this new invoice with a bounce check with the amount hitting to the bank so it'll match, and then the bounce check fee hitting to that expense account so it'll match. And you're going to have that total amount that is owed now for $535. Send that out, save it, boom, ready to go. From here, the next thing we would do is we're going to go back to our banking. We're going to see inside of this that, again, one of two ways. We've got either the split piece, but we're basically going to take this $500 that came through, and we're going to be able to match this to that invoice on 5/5, okay? As well as this expense portion, 5/5, will match as well. Now, if you want to be able to go back real quick and actually be able to show like the dating wise on the initial invoice, if you go back to your customer, go to customers, pick on your person here. What you can do is go back over. You'll see that it's got this invoice here that's still saying it's overdue here. You can come to your initial invoice for the amount, and you're going to change where the payment was made. So I actually should have gone to the payment portion, sorry. You're going to switch from the old to the new, put it back, still the same 500, nothing changed there. You'll notice when I did this, I've got to put this back to that 500 because they still owe 35 on the other part, okay? And then you're going to save and close it. So also make sure you didn't break a reconciliation, anything else. So the balance still due is still that 535, and now you've gone back, this older one is overdue, has the aging on the primary part, and then the 35 is still overdue for that client as well. So I hope that this quick video trying to show how this process works helps out. As a quick little tip, where I really got this whole feed from is inside of your QuickBooks Online Pro Advisor. When you go through all the training stuff, this is in that advanced banking area that they'll walk you through exactly the steps I'm talking about. You can see exactly there, just in case you missed something from this video. But of course, put a comment below if you need more information, and we're always happy to help that way as well. Thanks for watching, and as always, here's wishing you a very successful week.